put the maps up on the board, as I know now as a professional that when it zooms in, it means that we're going for them.
You're learning.
It only took me 2 years.
All right.
Here we are. Concert Cafe Dostoevsky Instaband, as Concert was played by Empire, Cafe by LFO. Now we're playing on Clubhouse.
Interesting. This has been a good map for Empire.
Is there anything that does not interest you?
I mean, this job would be pretty boring if it wasn't so interesting.
Very good point.
And, it's very interesting. But Clubhouse, as I said, good map for Empire. They have played it twice, won it twice. LFO, not at all during Pro League so far. But it's like, come on, everyone's played Clubhouse. It's not like they don't know how to play it. So we'll see what you guys think, but I got to imagine this could be pretty close. And that's pretty close, but Empire, the favorite ones is...
It makes sense.
I mean, I expected maybe even closer than that, but still, the 10% draw, I think there's a good chance of a draw, honestly.
50-40 with a 10% draw is completely fine, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it really depends on how well they can shut down Empire's attacks. If LFO want to take this to a lead.
Even their defenses. I mean, we're looking at Mr. Jaeger.
Yeah, but it's their attacks that are so, like, technically repetitive, but yet still strong. That's what's always the baffling part.
So scary.
Yeah. Not something you'd want to deal with. We'll see how the bans go, though.
So, Empire will be banning the first attacking operator. Will they go for? Will it be Lion? Will it be a Heart Breacher? It's Capital. None of which.
Yeah, Capital. I mean, we saw Shedze try and make some work out of him, but yeah, it's not going to happen here, which makes sense. He's definitely very strong on this map in particular. Thatcher, oh boy. Finally, there it is, the Thatcher ban for EU. Sorry, Milosh. I'm going to have to cry.
It's going to be horrible.
At least to this map, it makes sense.
So, Jaeger, okay, here we go. That's spicy. I like this. And is it going to be Echo or Maestro? Or Mira? Oh, you have to ban the Mira. Yeah, it's Empire. It's EU. Of course they're going to ban Mira. And there she goes. So, that Jaeger ban, we'll see if it is specific to just deal with a joystick or to see if the fact that ADSs are no longer present, this will be exploited by LFO. And they're starting on the attacking side. So CCTV cache actually now becomes a lot easier because there's no ADS where you can bounce grenades over and into a bandit that's trying to trick on the wall. And you can run both Heart Breachers. It's actually very odd that we have no Heart Breach ban. So you have to have the Cloud. Yeah, I love this. You have to bring this Shepherd because the bandit's going to be easy to deal with just a grenade. Cloud, a lot more difficult.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
We'll see how this goes. I gotta imagine the Vigil definitely could get tracked here by Rise. But at the same time, like, you're really gonna have to keep him in check because of the shield. Monty trying to push in. That's, of course, the kind of operator like Joystick that could come up for a flank at the last second. So kind of protecting him will be the play here for sure. Hicks has a pretty good shield, though. We've seen him, for example, he was the one to bring that fuse shield strat that we saw on Border previously. So he does pretty well on it. We'll see how, if they can get this door open, or the wall open, rather, in a time-efficient manner, because that always is the struggle. As they are going to have utility to stop that. As you mentioned, there's the Bandit and the Kaed to be able to deny that. Then, of course, we'll have to see where those Yokai are placed as well. That will be something that can affect Monty also. Something to keep in mind if they can coordinate that well. Looks like he's probably going to go for the old garage push up the stairs, but he could also just peek it and make a decision after that.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this Monty did a decent chunk of damage. We're used to kind of seeing LFO playing some shields as well. There's like three teams in EU that really run this. Joystick finds Rise. Okay, well, you can give him whatever up. It's not like the K1A is not a great killing machine. He'll walk right out and be detected, and he'll fall back down with the Yokai that hit him in that position. He's trying to combo it to kill the Monty, but I don't know, he's going to still be alive. And Joystick forced back for just now, but he's already done some work. So what do you do? Scyther is staying alive, and the grenade will be thrown here by the Buck. But Corey cannot find anyone. This is going to force LFO back for just a bit. They're really unsure of where their opponents will be coming from at this point. And with not enough claymores, runouts are always a possibility when you're fighting someone like Empire. You gotta clear the top floor. This Nitro Cell will be dropped, and Aces will find Joystick. That's a pretty good play, and Dan is on the floor. Can you find the second? Corey firing down onto Karjeka, as they'll be able to pick up Dan. And Dan will stick to the floor. The wall will be open, but Alfama finds the frag as the wall gets opened here from the balcony.
Definitely advantage here. We're just going to have to play it. Still plenty of time left to make this attack happen, but the fact that they have a man advantage is the thing, and that's going to really cement it. Now Monty's going to be able to go up unabated and start to push towards it. They're going to have a crossfire here from the ledge. Scyther's going to have to make a serious play with this yokai, and fortunately he doesn't have either of them in the place he wants them right now.
You're going to have him in some position to at least stun the Monty before he walks on into you. You fire in, but all the bullets are right on the Monty as you're expecting him to vault, and this should give Empire some info on where the Monty's coming from. Below, Shepard actually fires down and finds one kill, but it takes an already caught Scyther, and Shepard will take ages to run back up. Diffuser is going to get planted here with the impact thrown on the side. He's right next to you, Shepard! Oh no, it's already planted, and the Monty has deployed the shield. Nigh impossible for Shepard to retake in this position with 3 slugs left in the magazine, or 2 in the TCSG-12. It's all in the 44 mag. There's a yokai drone set upstairs to give some info, but it's Aces that'll find the kill, and everybody is just looking for Aces. This man has been on fire since the day he joined Pro League. It's not surprising.
Yeah. They didn't seem prepared to be able to deal with that at all, which is surprising. I mean, you had the Echo to be able to at least do something against the Monty, but just their ability to take Garage and then also get the wall open onto server, as well as they were, also Joystick getting shut down certainly didn't help, but it just seemed like LFO were able to read into the defensive setup of Empire at least as much as they needed to, and be able to just shut down too many of the players. Empire didn't have anywhere to really play from in terms of being able to get like a flank unless they got, a really good jump out or something like that, because most of the control was from outside for a lot of angles. And then the Monty, of course, there's only so much you can do against the Monty. I mean, what do you do at that point? Throw up a C4 from Oil Pit and hope for the best? It's difficult to deal with him in that angle because he can just face one direction pretty much. And so, which is why you do often see Monty banned on Clubhouse to stop these types of attacks specifically. They're going to try Cash again anyways, though, and see if they can do a little bit better with it. But, I don't know. It's hard to say. They bring the same lineup again on defense as on offense. So it just really comes down to how they play it. Now that they know how they play the Monty, they saw it during the reveal phases. I don't think it was a 6th pick, so they should know what they need to do at this point, because this is not an unusual thing to bring the Monty for this.
It's not unusual to bring out silly Monty.
It's just, though, like I said, there's not a lot you can actually do about it, because the kennel side of the map is isolated. You can't really just run up onto the roof. There's not a lot of jump outs for it.
The instant that Diffuser's planted, you're not getting back.
Yeah.
As long as that Monty's alive. At least that's the strategy overall. So, this is why when we talked about Chaos and how they ran the Monty, this was one of the strategies that worked so well for them, and they kind of really ran well with the Monty. Now all the Excites are going to be used up by Aces to open up the standard holes here up by Garage, and he'll have double holes here to walk on through, so Rise has that to his advantage. Free-firing in the back is he's unsure if it's a player or not, and he gets dropped on the floor. The Og of Rise not saving it against Joystick. He'll reload, full mag back up. And Aces, oh, what a distance. Tries to find a head as he drops down and has to pick up Rise at some point in time. That's really the big struggle for any team as they try to enter from Garage.
That was definitely the play from Joystick. That really just burned up a ton of the time. He also downed his own counter. Of course, it's not going to be forever, but at the same time, that really slows down their attack. Now, with the Monty attack, it depends on slow, steady pressure to an extent, so you do have to burn up a bit of time making that pressure work. Not sure if they got the wall open yet. So you see all film over there, but Joystick finishes off Rise. So he's going to manage to pull it off after all, despite how long it took him to finish the job. But they are going to try and get this wall open now. Grenades coming out to do the job. And I gotta imagine Dan's not gonna be able to do a whole lot to fight that. Karjeka, though, is doing a good job with the Legion, trying to stop the Monty from pushing into garage, which is also important. Can't let him get up those stairs. He's also gonna use his gun to pressure. But Joystick being left alive here as long as he has, as well as getting that kill, this is really stunting their ability to make this push. And you see them having to rotate now. They might even have to try and push through bedroom to get a flank to make this work, because Joystick's still left to run around. No one's able to stop him.
Yeah, and has found one kill on Aces here as a drop down, and Alfama is down and taken away by Joystick. The C's at 75 in hand. Corey's left with Hicks, and sure, it's something, but how do you deal with all 5 of Team Empire? Next to Impact Grenade thrown in the back as you're unsure of where the buck is left, and well, now you are. Flawless round from Team Empire as they play around the garage, and LFO just cannot find a way to open this. And honestly, this is okay. LFO have won it once, Empire have won it once. It's going to be a lot more difficult for Empire to go back on this side unless it's their final round.
Yeah.
At least the one before that. So LFO can kind of now focus on other sites on the attack. Gym bedroom might be easier, as well as downstairs in church, which incidentally is the site that Empire are going to.
For a good reason. But Joystick, though, the 3K that round, after getting shut down early in the first round, that was definitely, you know, you ban his Jaeger, he's got other choices now. Vigil, I think, is a great choice for Joystick, the way he plays especially. He's going to play free roam anyways, but his ability to deny getting droned while doing it, definitely a good fit for him. And so he's going to try it again this round, setting up a rotate for his team as well with those 2 impacts. Just getting his job done on that setup so he can roam freely after that. Scyther, the only one yet to, or I'm sorry, Shepard, the only one yet to find a kill on Empire. But they're doing a good job among all of them. Aces as well, doing well for LFO, but it's still looking pretty back and forth. This is about as balanced as we expected it. You know, you had a good early win for LFO, but then Empire came back and adjusted to it. I think this is going to be the theme, is a lot of back and forth the way we're seeing things.
But it's not surprising at all.
Yeah, if that's the case, then we may see Empire defending every site twice. Because, you know, if they lose Church the first time here, then they'll do it again. And then at that point, they can go back to Cash without having to go to Gym.
This is the second most defensive-sided map that we have in the pool, right under Villa.
Tell TSM that.
Actually, yes, that's a very good point. For normal people,
for normal teams,
that's how it goes. Not everybody has a Bolo on their team, okay?
I'm sure everyone...
Or a Pojo Man, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure everyone really wished, though. But either way, looking decent for Empire. And LFO going to try the Monty again, despite the fact that it's a different bomb site and they know it, because of course it can't be Cash again. But they're pretty good on this Monty, so I can understand why they want to go for it. There is still, again, the Legion, though, try and slow him down, and that was pretty effective last time because he just didn't want to walk to it. In fact, I'm almost surprised he didn't just walk in, take the goo mine to the foot, back out, take it out, just to be able to suck up those goo mines, because it's so little damage that it's kind of worth doing just to clear them.
Yeah, you have to really be afraid of smokes usually to combo with the Legion, but since there's no smoke here, you're okay with it. Empire doubling down on running the Legion and, in this case, the Vigil. Drone's being destroyed left and right by Joystick as he's on a mission. Grenade timed in the back. Will hit, but apparently damaged Shepard.
Yeah, not a ton of damage there. That's unfortunate as all the grenades have been expended. He's looking for an angle now to deny the church wall, but no one's playing it at the moment, so no freebies for him.
It's a great spot to use if you're trying to look all the way down to the block box, and it's very difficult for defenders to deal with. I mean, it's not impossible, really. Joystick will try to come up through the oil pit here, at least scan around for any claymores or players that are up close to him.
Yeah, Joystick playing the oil pit. Something that's usually claymored, but just that wasn't even considered by LFO here. Whether it be their lineup just not having claymores available, or they're just not considering it something they have to worry about. I mean, there could be someone nearby that's covering it, or even a drone watching it instead. Hard to say as we can't see, but Monty, the one actually going to go, is he going to drop it?
Oh, no.
Oh, this would be interesting.
That's 2 kills. Oh, Hicks, the headshot on the Joystick. Was that a hipfire play? Oh, my. The changes are definitely not in, that's for sure. Scyther will have to fall into blue. Now it's a 3v5. Ziz is taking half HP. Oh, Scyther just looking down everywhere as Hicks will find another kill as he gets goo mined. So only something that'll slow you for a moment. Ace is lost as he try to move in from the dirt tunnel. Shepard is trying to lock things down, and he spots the back of the Monty. Kajek has solo on HP as well on the Maestro. With 10 seconds, you have to make every step count. Rise will find one kill, and the Diffuser will immediately be set down on the floor. Alfama holding down the plant as the evil eye is turned, but Corey locks it down. It's Kajeka eliminated, and here we are.
Yeah.
Second round for LFO, this time on Church.
The back and forth continues. Definitely been a struggle for them to find a foothold against the Monty time and time again, especially when they don't know how he's going to play it. Now, if he goes for the same play, I got to imagine they didn't anticipate it. Going to be a goo mine probably at the bottom oil pit as well. And they're going to try Church again. Just what I was saying. We're going to see the bomb sites twice, which of course means you can always go back to a site that you just played because of that. Like I said, so they can go back to cache after this rather than having to go back to gym. But that was definitely a struggle. They lost 3 people before getting their first kill. So Empire were definitely not very strong on that. Certainly didn't help. Joystick was trying to play on the Vigil and Oil Pit, but I like to switch over to the smoke. You're talking about how there wasn't a smoke? That is something that will help counter the Monty. So finally, they're looking for some more options besides the goo mines and the yokai to be able to do some countering. I mean, if they can take out Hicks, I feel like a lot of this LFO attack starts to fall down. Like,
yeah.
It's just the pressure and the distraction that he forces on them kind of stops them from being able to crossfire for each other and cover for each other as well as they normally do. Because you can't stop the man just walking at you, and you have to watch multiple angles at that point, and you start to lose a lot of your anchoring advantage. So I do have to wonder, though, is anyone going to go for the roam? Especially with Joystick, of all people, now going to be on what is typically an anchor operator.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Will he actually roam with it, or just play a bit more on site? Berserker had a good position last time, was actually playing pretty well from that dirt tunnel.
I think one of the rare times where we got to see Smoke roaming on this map was like back in WOG days.
Yeah, that was, his Oregon Smoke roams were kind of classic at that point. Good shot there. Was that on the drill pad?
Not sure, actually. I don't believe so.
Okay, I wouldn't think so, but never know. That might have just been the camera. Probably was just the camera in the corner.
Yeah.
And there's 2 cameras down. Didn't have to use the edge to spot that one.
So, Empire doubling down this time. Instead of playing outside of the site or even in blue, they're going to put the majority of their players instead of Church and Armory and really just play the defense. This allows LFO to have complete map control. Church usually is the defenders giving away map control to the attackers, right? You don't always have the possibility to play against it. And when you do want to do that, you end up putting a lot of resources and a lot of operators to play the top floor, and it's not something that many teams can do and consistently.
Well, you're not going to do it against a Monty either.
That's for sure.
Well, they are going to get some hatches open, and so it's going to be interesting to see whether or not which they use the thermite for. They could open up that dirt tunnel as well if they want to put additional pressure onto the Maestro and dirt tunnel if he's still playing that, because that was something a bit of a problem last time. Although it could be the smoke playing down there. It looks like actually might be Dan on the Legion potentially playing dirt tunnel, which is a great operator to take advantage of the fact that he can bottleneck into the goo mine.
A lot of times you'll see both Smoke and Legion also kind of comboing together inside of dirt tunnel if there's an assault coming from there. And an LFO might actually try that as it did before. The Habana has already expended her utility, and you can have her walking in from the back. Nobody dropped just yet as we hit the minute point. Yeah, Alfama has droned in, so dirt tunnel is open. LFO really being one of the few teams that still continues to do this multi-pronged pressure so effectively. Bomb has been used on the Church wall. Scory is holding down all the way down to green in the hallway. Hicks has some barbed wire in front of him, but more smoke will be popped right in his face. So yeah, it is the Legion of Dan. They'll be holding on to dirt.
Well, hopefully he's in a place where he can set up some goo mines to help cover it as well, because if that Monty starts to get in and puts pressure, he's definitely going to have to be able to try and fight that. Multiple angles, and Dan does get a kill onto Aces. There's the kill onto Corey as well, so that's not the Monty yet, but that is a 5v3 now. Now they have the crossfires they need as Alfama falls. This is working out for Empire. Again, the second try, best try.
There you go. Everybody locked down as Empire flawless. No extra drone pressure, nobody really getting info on what's the lockdown from Empire, and LFO just kind of walk into random lines of fire.
I smell that draw coming. Just the back and forth.
I mean, 2-2, 2 rounds on the attacking side. Again, theoretically speaking, is pretty good here. If you can secure a third one as LFO, you're good to go. But now you'll go back to CCTV and cash. This is why I talked about before. You have to go to it, or you can go to it the second to last round. We haven't seen Jim yet. We will never see Bar ever. I hope to God we don't.
We've seen it, I think, once.
LFO played it and it was horrible.
Yeah, that was...
Just don't play that.
Yeah.
But here we are. And as we talked about, it might just be Empire losing one defense and then LFO kind of flustering on the second.
Yeah, what's going to be the struggle here for Empire is if they can win cash this first time, which is possible now because they've tried to adapt to what LFO were doing, because they know what they're doing now. But at the same time, like, LFO also know about the way Joystick was playing Vigil and, like, the back and forth adaptation. But if Empire win this round, then they have to go to Jim, which suddenly starts to make things a little more difficult because so far they've only won their sights the second time, and they won't get a second chance at Jim if that ends up happening. But hey, chances are the way things are going back and forth with the countering each other, we might see this go LFO's way, and then a final attempt on Cash could go Empire's way. But that's just the pattern so far. Certainly doesn't necessarily predict how things will go. But I do like to see the back and forth between these teams. Good coordination there between both the Habana and the Thermite to open up as much of this garage as possible. But that is what offered up the kill to Joystick last time. So we've got to be careful and conscious of him potentially peeking from the lounge. He is going to be playing that spot again. Predictable or not, he's not being punished just yet, looking for an opportunity.
Oh my.
Peeking a lot.
How do we deal with those?
Yeah, I don't see Alfama hitting that shot.
Good player, but it's, man.
Yeah, it's an angle loopy.
And the ERC as well being activated, makes it even tougher. It'll be spotted and actually crouch peeks. This actually throws down a tiny bit of damage onto Corey.
I like this play by Corey, pinching him now. Forcing him to dedicate himself to this and then get punished by Aces.
Oh, Aces, what a play, as he had already fired into the lounge and has the wall, or had the wall, to his advantage. It's great clear. LFO understanding how to go through this, and now because they have the Monty, things should go back easier. And reverse repel will be played, which is usually what makes the intro into Garage much easier for the attackers, but extremely frustrating for the defense, as you know there's a player up there, but you can't really see him at all.
Good old upside down repel. Normally I'd question why you play Elysian Rafters, but with Monty in play, it makes the most sense of everything. More so even than Smoke, I think. Especially since you get 8 goo mines as opposed to 3 smokes, but he's going to get caught out by this upside down repel at some point. However, delay is happening. Dan takes down Corey. This is still working out, although the Monty now pushing up 2 goo mines in his near future. Hopefully, he doesn't kill them with his own impact nade.
Shepard locking down as well. Look at that long angle that he's using. Monty's going to stick in place, and the impact grenade will be thrown. It will barely do anything to Hicks here. There's still a decent chunk of time. More damage done to Karjeka as an extra impact grenade will be thrown, and Hicks will take a tiny bit more damage. But again, the explosive resistance on those shields is pretty darn massive, but you need to deal with Karjeka. Hicks will finally find the opening here, and is the Evil Eye right on the floor to deal with the Monty in this play. The instant he turns in and gets Goomined, he'll be fired upon from the back, and there'll be Shepard firing into it. But no, actually, Shepard is all the way back, and the Evil Eye will be lost. So Scyther now is without information. Empire will have to rely on pure frag power to win this one around. Oh, the shot from Shepard as Dan finds Aces. 3v2 with the Thermite and the Monty left alive. The Monty will have to get up close and personal as he takes a bit more damage. 44 mag is in hand as Dan rotates in from behind. Shepard will find 1 kill. Alfama with the knife. Can he go it? Oh, no. It's Scyther. Walks back into the site from the doorway. There we go. He's still inside. Goes for a quick peek. And then the second as he hears his teammate being knifed. Empire will hold the round, but I have to say, LFO's clear of Joystick.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. They kind of just stalled.
The upside for Joystick, though, is it took them so long to pull that off, and Corey wasn't even able to push cleanly against him. He wasn't able to get the kill, but they forced him to commit to that outside angle, and yeah, the peak from opening the wall there definitely worked out, but man, that was a lot committed just to kill Joystick. I mean, to be fair, he killed 3 of your members last time on that defense, so he's going to switch over to the Mozzie for Jim. This should be interesting from him. But overall, a great adaptation from Empire in terms of just delay. You're going to bring a Monty? Fine. We're not going to let him up until like the last 30 seconds is he going to try and get into the site. When at that point, most of your team members around him are dead, and you just don't have enough to make it work. But also, Shepard getting the pick onto the Monty was pretty good. Playing that ring around the Rosie and pulling out the ACOG pistol was a nice way to finish off Hicks, who unfortunately just was looking the wrong way at the wrong time because he couldn't look both ways at once. So great play there, but ultimately it is still only 1 point advantage here for Empire with the back and forth. But Jim could be where we see, get the back and forth the other direction and LFO take Jim. They're going to stick with the Monty, continuing to play it every round because while it hasn't succeeded for them every round, it certainly made a dent. Oh, I like the new castle helmet.
Yeah, I didn't buy it yet, I have to say.
Yeah.
But it did look pretty great.
Pricey.
When are we going to have Veli in the game? Dude, if Veli cosplayed Castle, he's buff as hell, dude.
Yeah.
He can do it. Veli, where are you at?
Let's do it.
Maestro and Castle. Let's go.
Yeah, I can't do Legion so well, probably.
Do Ella. You got the body for it.
Not the hair, though. Corey gonna
wig.
Open things up here. They're gonna try and take from the server side. No surprise there, really, but the Monty's definitely gonna help with that because they can just push across. And I wonder how long can they delay them here in Cache and Connector before they're able to just push all the way up to the doorway of the bedroom. Joystick is going to have to make a pretty sweet flank here. Now, he's probably going to be expecting to try and to get the jacuzzi shot, the run out that is for jacuzzi. But I don't know if they're going to be on that spot yet. I don't know if they're playing for that just yet because they're more focused on taking here. What? All right, freebie on diffuse carrier. Almost a second. Corey just barely on top of it. Low health now.
One shot landing right into Corey, but losing the thermite in this situation is not as big of a deal because the entire play was to come in from that construction position.
Well, important thing though,
yes.
No second hard breacher. The jacuzzi wall still solid. So
Aces was playing a switch to the sledge off of the Habana, so the strategy coming into this round from Adler's team was already to come in from Cache and hold on to the windows. So it makes sense when you look at the entire context, of course.
Joystick shut down, unfortunately, on his roam play. So 4-3 now. With the Monty still in play, you definitely want to have a numbers advantage. But they still have smoke. No Legion, though. So it's going to be a lot on Shepard to try and delay Hicks. Although, to be fair, they still are stuck over on the Cache side right now. No one trying to cross Connector. It's just kind of the no man's land, but Rise will set up the crossfire so Hicks can walk in and Corey can drone into logistics. Now Shepard found. So they got the information they need. Scyther's going to have to make a basis, takes down Shepard. Monty's got a free pass, but Corey dies.
It's a big clear now in the secret stash, but Dan will find Corey. That's the window again. You're not supposed to run into the window. You're supposed to use that as a late round play. Dan, low on HP here and taken away by Rise. The diffuser should get set pretty easily. There's a Nitro cell still left in the back pocket, and Hicks will go for a plant. Is there any info through things? There's not a Maestro Evil on anywhere. The Nitro cell will not connect. Hicks will now just stand right in the doorway as Scyther will walk on up, and Rise is holding on to said windows. Scyther throwing fire and bullets and flames wherever he can, but there's so little HP and his position has already been known. He'll walk up close to the bed, walk on out right into the welcoming arms of Rise. Is at the half. We stand at 3-3.
Back and forth and back and forth.
Yep.
Just as you would anticipate with the way things have been playing out. So who will adapt quicker on the switch here, or will we just see a repeat of the same thing all the way up to that 6-6 draw? But this is probably the way it should be between these two Titans right now. Church to start with, of course. Although, actually, I mean, I say that, but Empire actually started Cache. But this is the more common start place at the moment. We'll see Corey on the Mozzie. Interesting enough. And Kayed being brought out, along with the Echo, because, I mean, if you got the Echo, definitely should use it. Joystick going to get to play his Jackal. He's been getting a bit better on. Now that he's, I feel like the switch over to the C7E helped. Like, he just wasn't doing great on the CDW, was it?
PDW.
PDW.
Yeah.
Personal defense weapon.
I'm not super great at gun names.
No.
It's not my thing.
No. But here you go. I mean, C7E, PDW, whatever you want. Honestly, he's been doing good work.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. Yeah, sure, you have one map where it doesn't really work too well, but it's all right. I don't think that's something that can be weighing too heavily on someone with his pedigree at this point in time. But maybe that Jackal won't be as instrumental as we imagine it to be. Again, this is playing Clubhouse. You're attacking downstairs in church. How effective will it be? That's going to be the big question. But this is cool from LFO. It's an attempt. Doesn't always work. But, oh, there we go. Catching one drone.
I think you already had that one. And then just set up a redundant pest, maybe?
Now, maybe he was trying to catch the other one? Oh, whatever it may be.
Trying to catch them all.
Unless with your impact grenades.
That's true.
So here we are. Start up the round with Empire's first attack. They're bringing the Jackal. Dan realizing, okay, well, they're reinforced, which means they're going to be playing more roam play. See, the hatch is seen as soft. So Empire know there's going to be roam at the top floor. Obvious here from LFO, but this burns so much time away from Empire. And if the Russians cannot grab kills as LFO are retreating back to church, it's not bueno.
Interesting. Usually people do the top and the bottom, but I think you just did the top in 2 rows, and that worked. But yeah, it's funny that rather than deal with trying to fight the server window on the side, oh, nice pick there onto Corey. Joystick hunting down the operator he was just playing. But rather than bother with the cache server window, they just instead go with Maverick. Joystick just barely not getting that kill, but he gets to get in at least thanks to the smoke. Karjeka also getting down Hicks. That is now the Kaed down. So looking pretty good here for this to happen. Obviously, they lost some drones to Mozzie, but now Mozzie not being alive, they can drone a little bit more freely.
And they also won't have to worry about many reinforcements downstairs. That's really another big deal. The hatches are all safe and sound. Scyther can instantly drop them because they're so soft, and that's one drone. And the second, they're being destroyed here and there. It definitely will help LFO as the round progresses. And with no EMPs, it's going to take you even more time to run the Maverick correctly and open up these hatches, if that's really the play for you. Overall, the strategy for LFO has at least burned time. But will it be effective? Big question. Dan doesn't have any stun lifelines left, so Schmutz out of the question.
Yeah, not great. They are going to at least be able to track some of the players down potentially. Although the Mute Jammer, the one counter to Jackal in just the right spot. He's going to be able to catch smoke, though. That's not the biggest help right now. You really want to track Echo, so you have some idea where he's playing at. Shepard, though, in the meantime, taking about half the damage, and Scyther just drops on down.
Finds one kill, and Karjeka for another. Ace is all on his own. He's got 5 to face off against. He'll find one kill. The hatch is open near him. He'll pre-fire into the wall, but you're going to run out of SMG bullets at some point. But the fuser's not been planted just yet. Empire's taking his time. Nitro Cell's been thrown, but Karjeka peeks around the corner. Let's get to the head. It's Ace is dead. Empire. First round on attack.
What a collapse
on
the site there. Definitely just great overall play. Obviously, they had the man advantage at that point. The early kills there, Joystick, for example, catching the Mozzie. They were able to catch a lot of them in just positions where they couldn't necessarily defend themselves as well, or just weren't expecting the push as aggressive as it was, and that absolutely worked out. Just good coordination and good droning despite the Mozzie being in play and losing some of the drones to him. But interestingly enough, the pattern will finally break in terms of at least the stream. I'm sorry. Sorry, I was looking at the LSE. LFO switching over to a different site rather than repeating church. However, at least the pattern repeats in terms of attacking, winning the first round for Empire, but that now puts them at a point advantage yet again. So they're still continuing to drive this match despite their early losses. We'll see how they do on this site this time. They're going to be bringing the same lineup, really. For the most part, the difference being the smoke for the Legion, if I remember correctly. Or there was a Mute as well, so it was Mute and smoke, I think. But now there will be Bandit and Legion. I gotta imagine they're gonna go for the same clear of the wall using the Maverick, although it's kind of funny, they bring 3 hard breachers. Rarely do we see that on Clubhouse, and rarely do we see all 3 brought when it happens, but that's a lot of redundancy. And to me, that tells me that wall is definitely not going to last.
No, that's for sure. That is for sure. You're bringing all the heavy artillery.
Just do it quickly, though. Get it out of the way quickly. as fast as you can, and so you can start playing with the rest of it. That's, again, a redundant pest. Oh, no, he switches it up.
Honestly, it's like casting with you in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A pest?
No, the entire sentence. See, I get a return as well.
Wow.
I know, impressive.
Get your little certificate of completion.
Impressionante, Devin. There you go. I miss it, Italia. Man, I don't know if the Brazilians are gonna be in Raleigh. I really hope so.
I would hope so too.
I would hope so. I mean, it makes sense.
I know it's a little bit of a pain for them to get a visa sometimes to go to America as well, but hopefully.
Hey man, if I can get a visa for America, literally anybody can.
Yeah.
That's the Here we are though, with visas having been secured for Empire. Also, as you mentioned earlier on the broadcast, they have gotten done and they're playing all together in Austria. As we speak, not sure where in Österreich, but here we go. Empire have cleared out the bedroom and they have identified the bandit.
Should have wiped his feet. Look at this. What a mess.
That's why you have a mudroom.
Yeah, exactly. There should be one on Clubhouse. And, you know, people are coming in dirty feet. Bandit again tracked. He is definitely not going to be able to just do what he wants. So he's going to continue to get pinged, but they can't really do much about him right now, unfortunately. I mean, they brought 3 hard breachers and not a Thatcher. So they're definitely going to have to clear those batteries. But there's a Kaid as well, and impact tricking. So, I don't know. This is definitely going to be a little bit of back and forth on these walls. Finally, so they're going to try and finish off this one. It's a little bit late, though, to be doing this. Probably should have been done earlier in the round because you want them watching their back as soon as possible. Makes it harder for them to fight against a connector here, especially with Joystick trying to do some work from the gym bedroom side.
So Shepard is now sitting outside, and this is a lot of time being burned off. I have to bring Shepard back, and the wall was not completely opened up.
Well, that was risky.
That's okay. Fair
I don't think he knew.
No, Aces will find Kanjeka. A great start. A second one for Aces. He's now whipping around and finding another kill, possibly. That herself from Corey connects on the Scyther as Shepard finally takes him out. The damage has already been done. Dan is going to be walking up, and his position has been revealed. He walks right up next to his opponent. Alphama dispatches Dan. Shepard is last alive as Empire is completely mismanaged around. The Bandit taking a bit of damage, but Aces is just out for blood. And the round is pretty much lost for Empire's Agumine. Stuck in Aces. Another. Man.
The back and forth continues.
Maurice with the traditional carry. He's out there and it's putting it in for LFO, but it's back and forth, like a reversal of what we had in the first half.
Yeah, but it's still continuing. No one's, I mean, at this rate, no one's going to win. Interestingly enough, though, rather than try Church again, they're going to go to Gym. This is interesting choice, and that will probably help continue the back and forth if Empire have a good plan on how to take Gym here. They're again going with the triple hard breacher unless they 6th pick off of that. They're going to see what's being brought here. Seeing the castle, though, a real big hint that they're probably playing Gym, so if they need to change anything up for a Gym attack, they can do so now. And they're not going to, but the Kaid going to come out as well. Nope, they are going to change. Okay, there we go. Realizing they don't really necessarily need the Hibana. Instead, they're going to go with the sledge. Good choice. You see the castle, you bring the sledge. Don't have to waste the Zofia charges opening the windows. Smart play. We talked about that before in terms of, I think it was the NA quals. Well, also, they're making those kinds of adjustments. So opening those basically for free, as long as you don't get yourself shot, you can upside down repel or just try and, a little more risky, do it from the same level. Upside down repel, take that one out. Rise just put up as well. But that's to allow them to try and play more freely on the stairs. And that's why you want to open it up, though. You don't necessarily even need to use it. Just open it because it costs you basically nothing as Sledge. And it forces them to have to watch their back on the stairs. So there's like, time is literally the only reason not to do it if you don't want to. But the nice thing is they bring Maverick. And a lot of people forget you can Maverick torch through the castle barricades as well and peek it before you even open it with Sledge. Something you can use to your advantage when they're not expecting it. And the changes to the sound in Maverick's blowtorch have not come in yet, so it's still fairly quiet to be opening those castle barricades, especially if you have some idea whether or not there's someone in the room that will even potentially hear it. Should be interesting. Corey going to be on this Maestro this time, trying to play the old shield bed.
One thing I want to say, though, for everybody joining us back, we've had a few drops here on the stream. We've just been informed. We literally have had no clue until this moment. Our IT team is investigating as we speak, but make sure that things
Unfortunately,
stop happening.
It does mean longer probably for the VOD to be up as well. Is generally then you can't just go click a button from Twitch to send it over there. So catching the missed rounds will probably take a little while. So we apologize. You can see the scoreline at the top at least. So basically things have gone back and forth.
Yeah, basically. And as you said, all of this will be uploaded to YouTube, so you can catch the VODs by tomorrow afternoon, I guess. That's the usual. Around...
Although chances are, if you're hearing this, you might just be watching the VODs.
Hello!
Hi, welcome to the VODs, too. Dan, the only one take a bit of damage yet so far, and that was from Corey playing that shield on the window. Again, they have a lot of redundant destruction for these, and then Karjeka getting shut down means they now have to expend utility to open these windows. Unfortunately, hopefully he opened the one on the stairs as well before he died, but who knows. 3 breaching charges on the Zofia, though, means plenty of utility to open basically everything you need to, regardless. But Karjeka going down is not great to start things out, along with Dan's damage. At least Alfama's taken a bit as well. But Empire getting pretty slowed down here, as maybe Jim was the play here for LFO. If they can get 2 defenses in a row, though, that's pretty good.
Oh, he's trying to turn around, and Hicks will down Dan.
Just not really any follow-up to that, but doesn't necessarily need to be.
Yeah.
Uses his bait. However, Alfama does get finished off here.
Dan will pick himself back up. His Polish superpowers. And Joystick will turn around into Cash. He's going to try to go for the engagement, and he wins it. Restabilizing his aim onto Hicks. Hicks finds one, but Rice turns around in construction. He's not pressured, but it's Dan on the site immediately against Corey.
Couldn't let him get back up again.
Finds the head. 3v2 as there's Aces and Rise, 2 alive. Gumine stuck. Aces will get 1 kill. And he's peeking around. Aces, very difficult to deal with. Finally, he'll be eliminated, but Rise has taken away Dan. It's up to Shepard with a diffuser in hand. He can
so many times.
He can put it down on the floor here for A, but there's an evil eye around the side that is just giving information over to Rise, and he doesn't have to peek unless the call comes out. Shepard will flash on out as he knows his opponent Rise is right in the logistics office. Turns around and they trade! Oh, the defense wins it!
Well, I mean, Shepard has clutched so many times. I kind of expected him to be able to, but I think the evil eye really cost him, though. Just his inability to even go for a plant without it being called out. It's unfortunate, because I think he could have gone for a plant in Jim, potentially, and it would have taken a while for the rotate to come out. Might have even been able to finish it. Nonetheless, though, LFO get 2 in a row, and now they're in the lead, finally. As they're finally going to go back down to church now that they won the other 2 sites. So Jim turns out to be the play after all, but that got really close to working out for Empire, and again, the Meister Evil Eye, not just at the end of the round, but also helped earlier on, too, when they were making their push in terms of getting the call-outs needed to be able to make the plays and get some of those kills. It's unfortunate for Shepard, he wasn't able to find it. And when there is a trade, for those of you who aren't familiar with the new rules, if there is a trade at the end of the round and Diffuse is not planted, defenders win. If it is planted, attackers win. So
exactly. Back in the day, you had draws, but those are, like, not possible.
Yeah, well, there's certainly a possibility of a draw in this match, but not in the round. 12 for Aces. He's really putting them up there on his team. Corey again going to go with the Mozzie. Now, first time, for those of you who didn't see it earlier, if we happen to be down, first time on Cash, which was first defense for LFO. Empire managed to take it due to a lot of good fragging, especially towards the end. And also catching Corey off guard, as Joystick did in the window. Now he's going to know that Corey's going to be playing this again, probably. But 1 drone already taken, and that might be Joystick's. If it is, someone else might need a drone for him if he isn't going to have his second one ready. Corey going to be playing from above. Interesting choice. He's really dedicated to that roam, because he's just, I mean, he's not completely solo. There is another member upstairs. But you're talking about earlier, the committing resources up here for a church defenses. But I mean, we're seeing more teams do it now to some extent. Oh, he's
yeah?
You don't have a Thatcher. I'm not sure what he's doing there.
He's banned.
Yeah, I'm not sure why maybe he's thinking he has a Thatcher for some reason.
Maybe he's awaiting Dan to be, I mean, this is just not coordinated?
I don't know, but now Mozzie's going to get caught out, and that's Corey, who's going to have to try and use it as bait, if anything else. Once that wall gets open, they're going to start to push him now here. Smokes are coming out, though, to help cover, and that traps him in the shower. He's going to need to
It's not even
blood.
Oh no, it's not even reinforced. LFO, a terrible bit of play here.
To
on
be
the
fair,
setup.
though, you only have so many reinforcements, and you need a lot of them for hatches and downstairs. But Hicks also falling his backup upstairs. Now they're commit to upstairs. Walt bottoms for time. They're actually going to even try and play inside bar. They're really doubling down, but Alfama smartly leaves.
Oh, the drone, the yokai is so close, and it gets destroyed.
Well, Ace is really committed. They really don't want to let them downstairs. They're hoping time will be enough to save this.
Look at those reinforcements. There's like nothing left on the side. They have to do something with it.
Yeah, they got to really play aggressive here. Empire just need to play smartly with this. They really need to anticipate the peaks from LFO and play against them. Even use flashbangs here, but Aces being able to sit up here like this, it's not great. Joystick going to try and hunt him down.
There's a
Might
drone
catch some footprints. There we
right
go.
next to him, and he finds exactly the one he's looking for. Aces still finds one. Oh, and he trades with Joystick.
Oh boy.
A 2 versus 3 now as Rise is looking to get even more aggressive himself as the Jackal was eliminated. He might be able to catch 1 or 2 players off guard as right now Empire are focusing on Bar. Either will bring his drone back.
They're chasing losses at this point. Thankfully, Rise goes back. Yeah.
Gonna be needed on the site, and he misses the shot. Oh, had that hit, his entire round might have gone topsy-turvy. Alfama waiting out as there's a smoke in the back pocket to use right as the entry happens. And Rise is setting up as well in blue. Doesn't have a hole to play around with. Oh no, he gets shot! Scyther taking out Alfama. Gives Rise all on his own. Goes to play against the Habana and sits back on the Yokai drone. If he hits this, yes he can. He's looking for the rest. They're gonna stick to the diffuser plant here. Bearing 9 in hand. Goes in for the fight, and Scyther hits the head. It's Rise away. And Empire to tie 5-5. Devin.
The never-ending back and forth.
It's just so close.
This is really how it should be. We're not seeing... I mean, my worry in coming to this match is that one of the teams has a bad day, and then it just ends up being, you know, one team rolling over the other. But this is... I mean, these two teams are top 2 for a good reason, and this is definitely the fight we were anticipating for a few play days at least. Cash gonna be the site here. The thing is, though, someone's gonna win this round. That someone is gonna get 6 points, or you know, up to 6, guaranteeing at least a draw for them. And that's gonna be pretty tense because then there's gonna be that other round. It's just gonna be so close. And it's just the stress level that comes with that can really impact the team. That last round, though, I also want to say, I appreciated the play from the Echo. Rather than going on his drone, which he knew they would predict, he got off the drone and knew they were going to rush him, which is exactly what they should do. And he read into that, and that was a smart play. It's just unfortunate for him, there was 3 left alive against him. That was just enough to make sure that he could not live through it, so... A great play, unfortunately, squashed by just not having enough manpower. It was impressive, the trade upstairs as well, though. I got to applaud them for at least trying the over-aggression, trying to make it work. 2 drones already lost here as well for Empire. You see Joystick and Dan losing theirs. Namazi's in play again from Corey, who's been somewhat effective on it. They're again going to bring the Echo as well. So similar utility coming out here from LFO time and time again, as well as the attack from Empire. This time, though, they're bringing Karjeka again with the sledge and not going with the Habana, which surprises me because it is more important to bring the extra hard breachers for the site, but maybe they just really didn't need Karjeka doing that. So the sledge will help, but there's no castle this time to deal with. Instead, he'll be able to open up surface up, but they don't really need a soft breacher when they've got both the Joystick on the Jackal as well as the Zofia. You don't really need the sledge. However, that's going to bring an extra set of grenades, and they aren't bringing a Jaeger. So actually, now that I think about it, that's pretty helpful.
Yeah, I mean, the Jaeger was banned by LFO, and they did it to specifically deal with Joystick.
And now they got to deal with it. So those extra grenades, if well played. Ooh, nice catch there, knowing he has those pests. Now Corey is, of course, across the way, but he did leave his footprints there, and Corey gets a C4 kill. So that is grenades off the board. So unfortunately, those didn't work out after all. He's using his drone as well that he stole to be able to help with that intel. Smartly played by Corey. As we said earlier, a very good addition to this team and been working out quite well. The rest of LFO now at a man advantage thanks to him. But Hicks gets down in the meantime. They're stopped by Joystick.
What? How are they already on the site? Oh, Corey turns around. He finds one. Then Scyther to refrag. Shepard turning in. He finds the head of Alfama. It turns into a 2 versus 1 here as Scyther is on the floor. This is what LFO are looking for. You need this extra point. They find the kill and Rise the double. That's what you need. LFO guarantee at least 1 point, but as I said in the beginning, this game, you need to win it.
Yeah.
Like, tying is one thing. Great in general. You know, you're tying one of the best teams in the world. But right now, you want the advantage. And what's been going on is that Vitality are 13 points. If you tie, Empire gets to 17 points, LFO gets to 16, and Vitality have a possibility of tying LFO and getting deeper into those top echelons in EU. If you're LFO, you're working to win.
Yeah.
If you're Empire, you're working to maybe get a point out of it. But really,
Well,
it's LFO here.
see, if Empire could draw, though, they maintain their flawless record of no loss. And just 2 draws. And the 2 draws against 2 big teams, G2 and LFO, that's still a very good record.
Indeed. And I will, in the meantime, look at how things have gone.
At least it guarantees LFO can't get another loss here.
So Vitality has played Empire. It was a 7-5 for Empire. And Vitality played LFO and was a 7-2 for LFO. So either way you cut it, Vitality is on the back foot in this matchup.
Yeah, no, realistically, I mean, I think most people would agree with me. It's looking very likely these 2 in Japan.
Yeah, again, we are still at the half, and with Vitality and Na'Vi, even G2 at this point can still make it back. But Vitality and Na'Vi are breathing down the necks of their 2 opponents of Empire and LFO at the top. And Empire have not secured the, 33 points that they had in the last season just yet.
Well, so far they've got, all wins, 1 draw, and we'll see if they get another draw, but they can't win again, so they might. I mean, they could lose, though. This was a attack that they lost previously. So far, their attacks, as I said, LFO shutting down their attacks is more important sometimes than shutting down their defenses. Although the Monty definitely tried to put a good effort in that. Joystick was pivotal, and sometimes in making that work.
You're hearing the suppressed
All right, Corey's creative.
Corey, what are you doing?
So stealthy. Well, when you throw out 80 bullets, maybe it doesn't matter if it's suppressed.
Yeah, well, at this distance, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's true. When you're point blank. Karjeka, though, first to take down Rise here. Castle, not a big pick, but the manpower advantage does matter, as you've seen these 2 teams equally strong when they're on equal manpower.
Oh, another one
no.
for Karjeka. Alfama.
Coming.
What are you doing? There's 2 bodies down together, and Aces is close by.
They're almost holding hands, little snow angels.
So much focus on logistics. And unfortunately, that might be the undoing of LFO. It's Karjeka and Joystick find 1, and here we go. It's a flawless round. Empire secure it, and it means we're at a tie between the 2 teams at the end of the day. No interview, because I had some interesting things that I wanted to talk about.
Just gonna have to tweet at them now.
No, I don't do that. And that's where we stand. 6-6. A lot of work done by both teams, and it was as back and forth as we predicted it.
Yeah.
A reminder that both Empire and LFO are going to the Raleigh Major